Hi there, this is Bill, continuing on the BilroCAD Autocad tutorial. We've gotten as far as drawing these two stair treads over here, and now we just want to repeat them all. Once that's gone grey, it means that AutoCAD's no longer sure as to what it's doing in the way of where it's putting things. So go like that, it's correcting it now, corrected it, and if we want to turn that over so that it's running along this line of where we're going to go, we're just going to rotate that x-axis by 90 degrees, and it's looking a lot happier. So copying this here, and the reference point is down on the corner. On going. Does that look like 13 of them? Maybe I've overdone it. Better to be overdone than underdone. Hit enter. Now look from the side. Yes, I've done one too many. Okay, we're going to move that so that that top tread is going to be in line with that. We're going to move, M for move, select all of them. Notice we've selected these in the enclosing window. Hold down Shift, unpick, and enter, and base point, and make it the dot X of this point here, pulling it along so that it comes to the right place. And of course we don't need the top one. And we're going to plan view, we're way out there. And for the time being, we're just going to move those stairs approximately where they're going to go, which is around about there. Sorry. Okay, bearing in mind that any handrail we're coming along here, and maybe we should want it to go straight down onto there. And any handrail coming up here will have to do a little turn and go around there, around there, around there. But for the time being, we can now draw in the stringer. The stringer is the side of piece of steel on the side, and to do that I'll draw a polyline. The nice thing about a polyline is that if I pick a point there, and pick a point there, it will, once you've chosen that point, it'll respect the fact that you've drawn that, and it'll draw that on that plane that you were looking at. And there's the UCS. The UCS changes every time you change these guys here. So that's one good thing. Normally, I put them right on there. I figure why not. And normally, we offset that line by 250. So it's a piece of steel 250 by 6 usually. And we'll draw a polyline. Well, no, we'll draw a line from the bottom of there, bearing in mind that we don't know quite where that's going to end up. It might be in and out of the screen, somewhere else that you don't want. And also a line from there right through there. We'll offset that one by 10. No, more than that, because we're going to have to follow the same ruling as what we had on here about our bit of grout under the foot. So we'll need a foot plate there. So, and if we offset by 10 this line here, that'll be the bottom of the stairs. So if I go trim this and this, that and that, that'll be the bottom of the steel piece. And of course, line from here down to here. If I trim off these two here. We don't need the bit that's on the floor, it's just something we started off with. Now, even though that line might be in and out of the page, we don't know, we can still extend to it. EX for extend. And we can pick those and it'll come up right. But if we're going to bolt this on to here, we'd need this bit of the stairway to be a little bit off there. So off by, say, what's a good number, about offset 20mm. That allows you a good chance to put in a weld and leave a bit of room to come and go. So that's going to be our piece of steel coming up there, and we're going to have a piece of steel coming under here to bolt that onto, and it'll come under here and it'll go up there as a lug. Or you could have a lug under there and just make it a nice straight piece of steel to join it on, which we'll show in a minute. That and that, trimming off those two there, and hit enter, repeat the command, enter. Okay, so there's our piece of steel that we'd like. Now we don't know whether that is in the right place. Let's have a look and see. And we had, just as we suspected, there it is way over there. So that's no big deal. We'll just move him, because we know he's in the right place, and he will fit nicely. It's good. Get rid of him, because he's just a thing that was for reference, really. And this one over here, he's lost the plot. He's in a different place as well. That's no big deal. He's in the right place now. So all of that, we can make that into a region. REG, and just pick our pieces of stuff. Now I put an apostrophe when I was clicking it, and it didn't like that, so we have to pick again. So sometimes you do make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. So we've created our region, and we want to extrude that by 6mm. Thing is, trying to keep your mistakes as little as possible. That's the hard part. So there we are. We've got our stringer in there. This should be moved 6mm that way. I probably should have keyed in -6, shouldn't I? So 6mm that way. So it's now perfectly positioned on the corner of there. Okay. And before we get mirroring this thing over to the other side, we should detail up this little plate thing that we're thinking of putting in there. And let's just measure from here to here. 667. That's why you can't believe that measure command, hardly ever. But if you look down here, it's 667, but it's not 667. It's gone one way by 10 and up by 92. So a piece of 80 by 10 might be the go here. So we just draw a box and it looks around about 150 long by 80mm wide, and the thickness of it is going to be 10mm. So there's a plate that looks like it'll fit under there. And we pop that under there, and it's not looking too bad. You probably get 2 bolts up on top of each other there. What size bolts? Well, look at the size of everything on there. That's quite a distance, and it's quite beefy. M12 would probably do, but you could use an M16, might be better. So let's just see how far we get with drawing an M16 in there. Midpoint of there, diameter 18 for an M16, and we'll move that in by how much? 20, 30, 20, 25. And that won't be a nice even number, will it? That'll be 30 mil from the edge. Oh, sounds nice and even to me. So now if we move that up by, what's that looking like, about 10 mils, 20 mils, 30 mils, say 25. Move it back down 5. And then mirror that one. That looks not too bad. Now, talking about bolts and nuts, you should have up on the top of here a thing that just, you click on it and just chucks a bolt in there. I haven't set my computer up, because this is at home, to do that just yet. So I'm looking on here, and I look into fixings, and M16 nut. Let's just pop in an M16 nut. Just draw that into there. And I think that's a 2D version by the looks of things. And it's way over there. It's a 2D version. There it is there. But it gives you an idea of the fact that if you've got two things close together like that, the main question is, can you still put a ring spanner on there? And the answer is, looks like you can. So for the time being, that we can delete those. And those two circles, I can extrude those two circles, and I'll make it 100, so I can find them in the general hoi polloi of everything. And properties bar keeps popping up. I'll just move it over there. No, I'll close it. There's our bolt holes. Now we'll need the bolt holes to fit in over here as well. So let's just bring this over so that we're going to move these bolt holes and the actual plate, and we'll bring that so that it's dot Y of this point here. And because life is never easy, you'd always put move this 2 mils away, so that when they come up with this and they offer it up between those two plates, they got half a chance of getting it in there. And then when they do the bolt up, it's going to bend that slightly. Maybe if we make it come back a bit by 1, then it means it's only going to bend a tiny bit. Or it's not going to bend that much at all, it'll be sprung. So then we copy this guy here back that way a little bit, and so we need these holes in the other plate. So before we do that, go mirroring anything, we need a foot plate. So we dial up our parts, CAD drawing, excuse me, standard parts, standard drawings, common parts, stair parts. They've got a, no, they're only all dimensioned foot plates. I'll just create one on the fly. You should never do this. This is silly stuff. You should never be drawing a foot plate for a stair. So, but we'll draw one just because it doesn't take long, and I can't find the other one. So if we made that 150 long by, say, 80 wide by 10 thick, and we put a 1 M16 hole in there, and move that